Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Goldcrest Valley. This is episode number 24. We are still in early autumn. I actually meant to fast forward time and get us into day two, but I was kind of so excited about getting started, getting recording and everything, that I forgot to fast forward time, and I've already got the boys set up. We are harvesting potatoes and sugar beets today with our big equipment, our big sugar beet and potato harvesters. The amount of crop that we actually have planted is probably not. It probably does not require the size of equipment that we are using, but you know how slow potato and sugar beet harvesting can be. And so I really was just kind of wanting to sample, show a bit of a sample as far as this goes, and I realized that I took the wrong turn. Can we get around to where we need to be? Yeah, we can kind of, let's see, I think we can turn here, and we can go down. Helper E has a full grain tank. Okay, well, hopefully Helper E is not on the crop side. Anyhow, this is just sort of a sampling of harvesting sugar beets and potatoes. I don't want to dedicate hours and hours and hours of good. He's on the correct side. I didn't want to dedicate hours and hours and hours of harvesting sugar beets and potatoes, and so we're just going to kind of do it abbreviated. And again, I fully realize that the equipment is a bit overkill for the size of fields that we have planted with sugar beets and potatoes, but at the same time, again, this is just sort of a sampling. I like using this equipment. Wrong direction, wrong gear. I like using this equipment. And so that's what we're doing. And for whatever reason, he is not close enough. Oh, I'm full. Okay, that's the reason. That is the reason. Not a problem. Just zoom across here and take the shortcut down by our pig farm and dump these into storage. Try not to take out the corner of that fence. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. Let's see, I think you guys are going to be watching this video on the 23rd of December. If my schedule and everything is correct, it may be the 22nd. I'm actually going to accelerate some things, because I'm basically trying to get us to winter time on this map, so that, because I plan to do a Christmas special. I is the correct button, Jerry. I'm going to do a Christmas special. In the U.S., Christmas specials with your favorite shows, whether they're comedies or dramas or whatever, don't really exist in the same sort of in the same flavor or the same flair as they do in the UK. And because obviously my wife lived half of her adult life in the UK, and I think what we're going to do is, the boys did get that trailer finished, so we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to drop this. We're going to drop this here. We're going to grab this. We're going to grab our larger tipper. Okay, because otherwise we're gonna be busy. Anyway, what I was saying is that you might remember the wheel bearing had went on this, and so the boys got that fixed. Anyway, in the UK, there is a very cool concept with Christmas specials on some of the very popular both comedy shows as well as dramas and stuff like that. Kind of every show has a sort of an equivalent of a Christmas special. Many of the series will start the new season to their series with the Christmas special. And Stan is down there fertilizing. So good job he's doing there. Anyway, they'll start with a Christmas special. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to do a Christmas special on Goldcrest Valley, and I'm trying to get us, he's at 74%, I'm trying to get us to the point, and we're just going to kind of empty these boys. Let's see, these are sugar beets, so we'll have to empty and then empty the harvester and then run these down. But anyway, Christmas special. So I'm trying to get us done with the fall harvest. So the next 2 game days. This is the wee hours of, at 6 p.m. here on early autumn. I will get us pretty much to early winter. So we'll get the fall harvest and everything done, get us to early winter, and then we're going to have the Christmas special. So the Christmas special should take place. You should see that. Come on. Let me get my camera angle correct here. You should see the Christmas special probably on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And Christmas Day obviously is on Sunday, and I typically have not released episodes on Sunday before, but if I can't get everything done the way that I want to get it done, then you will see the Christmas special on Christmas Day. And it's just going to be, I don't know how long the episode will be. I kind of got things in my, sort of scripted in my mind, and just how that's going to correlate into the video, I don't know yet, but it'll be fun, and it's something that I really want to do, and so that's what we're going to do, and it'll be fun. So that will occur on the first day of winter, because in theory, winter, the season of winter, here in the northern hemisphere, as it correlates with Christmas and everything, occurs just a few days before Christmas. Obviously, I think it's December. When is the winter solstice? December 20th or December 21st, something like that. So anyway, it's gonna all match up. I didn't start this series with that in mind. I had no idea at the time when I started Goldcrest Valley, just soon after Farm Sim 17 came out. I had no idea that we would, be doing season approach and be doing all of this other kind of stuff, and I had no idea that things would sort of match up and line up with, at least with, Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to do. It'll be fun, I promise, and then we will obviously resume things from that point forward. So the helper E has a full grain tank. Okay. I think I can. Come on, pull the hill. There you go. This little Valtra's nice little tractor, but it might be just a bit underpowered to pull a tipper full of sugar beets and potatoes, but it's working. Let's come around and face it correctly. Oops. Yeah, this tipper is a bit too tall for the potato harvester. I had a problem. I was harvesting potatoes earlier, which I did not do on camera. I had a really huge field that we purchased that was planted in potatoes, and I had that mod running that that simulates the ground response. I think it's called the ground response mod, and because it rocks the combine or the harvester, I couldn't get the trailer underneath it. Basically, every time I tried to bring the trailer around, it essentially caused me some problems, and so I ended up having to turn that mod off just for the sake of being able to harvest potatoes. And I never bothered to turn it back on. So let's see, we can cut through here. We've got our nice cattle guards put in, so we can go across there. And of course, Stevie designed these out of wood timbers. Most of them here in the U.S. These cattle guards are steel pipe. Back in high school, I may have told you I was in. I took shop class, which was sort of combined with a program that is here in the U.S. called Future Farmers of America, and I had no idea when I was in high school back in the early to mid 1980s that I would be able to take any of that knowledge, and trust me, I have forgotten more than I've ever learned. But be able to take any of that knowledge and tie that to a simulated virtual farming game called Farm Sim. But anyway, back in that time, and I grew up in East Texas, and back in the 70s and 80s and such, oil was huge around there, and so we would get the oil companies. There were many of them in that neck of the woods. The oil companies would donate to the school used drill stem pipe, and this was nice stuff, and I guess they couldn't use it again for whatever reason, and so they would donate it to the school. And so the school, our shop class would make and usually sell for to earn money for school projects and stuff like that, would sell cattle guards and gates and pipe fencing. I don't know about in other parts of the world, but especially in the southern portion of the U.S., you will see these, especially like in Texas, you'll see fences, sort of like what is simulated here on this map. But you'll see fences with made out of pipe. And maybe we can catch him before he turns. Please stop and unload. Stop and unload. Nope, you're not going to do it. Not a problem. We'll catch him on the other side. But you'll see fences, potentially miles and miles and miles of pipe fence. And this stuff, I mean, my gosh, this stuff will last forever. It is anywhere from, well, a lot of the drill stem pipe that we had donated to us in school, this was like 1/4 inch stuff, and it was like I said, it was for the most part, it was all straight and wasn't damaged. And so you could made a picnic table out of this stuff. Like I said, we made cattle guards, which we actually sold, and that helped generate funds for things. I mean, we really didn't, the part of Texas I grew up in, we were fortunate because we had several car dealerships. We had I say several, we had two, but we had a Chevrolet dealership, and we had a Ford dealership in town. And so we did not have to want for anything. We had a donated, and I'm not talking about this was in the early to mid 1980s. So I was in high school from basically 81 to 85, something like that. And so we're not talking about 1960 something model Ford pickup that, you know, had already driven 1,000,000 miles and then it was donated to us. I'm talking about probably at that time our shop truck that we used for various tasks, and we had like a farm built onto our school and all that. And I would say that, you know, it was probably like a when I was my senior year in 1985, it was probably an 82 or 83 model truck. So I mean, it was probably brand new when it was gifted to the school. And so so we had that option, that luxury, if you want to call it that. But yeah, we did lots of different things around the farm, around the school. And so yeah, cattle guards. Essentially, you know, the cows, because of the gap, if you kind of look at them, and I'll take a little bit of time to show you. Normally, what you would see in the middle of the logs, and Stevie used wood timbers, but usually that would be a pit, relatively deep. And I would say that here in the U.S., the way that we built our cattle guards, the metal pipe was closer spaced together, and again, that was a pit, and basically that would spook the cows and they wouldn't walk across it. Another what you will also see here in the U.S. Is cattle guards built out of railroad steel, so rails, used rails, and we even had some of that material given to us as well at the school. We didn't have as much of that because, you know, generally I guess drill stem pipe, they only can use it so many times maybe, and but with, you know, rail, that stuff lasts many decades. And so but we did have some of that, and man, of course that was heavy material. And potato guy is going to need emptying here again, and we're not going to get to him in time, but that's okay. This may not be the best way to accomplish this harvesting, but you know, it's working out for us. And we will just head back on up the hill here and go empty our potatoes. But yeah, the railroad steel, of course, a cattle guard made out of railroad steel, and of course the bed of it, the portion that you drive across, that was what was made out of the railroad steel. That literally would last forever. I mean, railroad steel may have a limited use as railroad steel, but once it's designed, or once it's given to somebody for its second life, if you will, it will literally last forever. I must say, getting a pretty darn good yield out of both this potato and sugar beet crop, more so than perhaps I would have thought we would have. You know, a lot of times, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, this was a field that I planted, so, you know, made sure that we had all levels of fertilization. We'll have to look into getting a different tipper for doing potatoes in the future, if we do potatoes, especially if we do potatoes with this Grimmy guy, because obviously it's too tall. get him lined up here again. Put him on. Get him lined up. And go ahead and rehire him. Yeah, this is a bit unconventional, I think, doing it this way, especially harvesting two different type of root crops. It would have been easier for us to have managed between the two if they would have both been potatoes or both been sugar beets. But hey ho, right? There's more than one way to skin something. So I'm not going to say skin a cat, because cats are awfully precious to my wife and I, and we don't have any, and I don't know if we'll ever have any. That's perhaps a story for another video, but I'll just let you know that we had 2 cats a little over 2 years ago, and Mickey, which was kind of my cat, if you will. Meaning, when I say that, what I mean by that is that Mickey he sort of followed me around, and he would sort of, pay a little bit more attention to me than he would my wife. When I met my wife had 2 cats. She had 2 cats that she had basically moved from Belgium to the UK, and they spent 6 months in quarantine due to UK laws and everything back then. And so when she moved here, she had 2 cats. They came. I went over and helped her move, and we loaded them up on the big British Airways 777, and they went into the heated cargo hold, thankfully, and in a big cage, and they came to the U.S., to Denver, and lived here for many years. Socks passed away first, and then Moosty passed away. Let's see, who needs to be emptied first? They're both about the same, so we'll go down and actually this guy's done, so that's good. So what we'll do is we'll just leave him here, and we'll take care of that in a minute. So Moosty passed away. Well, okay, so Socks passed away first, and to sort of help keep Moosty from getting lonely, we thought that we would get a kitten. So we got Sky, and Sky was a beautiful ginger cat, and he was a kitten when we got him. And so obviously he was a kitten, and he wanted to play, and Moosty was, at that particular point in time, she was probably 19 years old. She lived to be about 23. And so we realized pretty soon that maybe we didn't do the right thing. And so to keep Sky busy and happy and everything, and allow him to do cat kind of things, after about the first year, we got a new kitten, and that was Mickey. And so Mickey and I bonded pretty quick, pretty easily. And so Mickey was kind of my little cat, and he would follow me around wherever I would go, and he was just the coolest little boy. And so Moosty passed away in I believe in 2000, I'm trying to think here, 2013, I believe, and in August of 2013. Well, in August of 2014, so a year after Moosty passed away, and she was 23 again, Mickey started throwing up. And if you have cats, you know that cats throw up. That's just kind of the thing that they do. hairballs and whatever else, you know, eat a bug or whatever, and then they decide that they don't like that, they throw it up. Also, because Mickey and Sky were both very active, running around the house, and oftentimes they would eat, drink, run around, and then I start, you know, feeling queasy or whatever, throw up. So it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't something that, you know, when Mickey or Sky would throw up, it wasn't something that we would panic about. Well, Mickey just, he couldn't keep anything down, and about after a full day of this, we realized that something was wrong. Something was very wrong. And so we took Mickey to the hospital, and they really, you know, they checked him out. They did x-rays thinking that maybe he had swallowed something, or maybe he had a blockage or something like that. He had no blockages. He had nothing foreign in his body. The scans, you know, proved all of that to be not the case. And so long story short is a week later, we called out of service to our home, and well, before that, Mickey was diagnosed at the, we took him to a 24-hour emergency animal hospital, and he was diagnosed with a disease called dysautonomia, or Key-Gaskell syndrome. And so within a week of, you know, him getting sick, we were called out of service, who came out to our home and assisted Mickey on his journey to the Rainbow Bridge, basically put him to sleep because he was miserable. And this Key-Gaskell syndrome, dysautonomia, it's basically a very cruel disease. It affects the it doesn't affect their ability to walk and move, but it affects their other systems, their internal systems, the esophagus, basically, because a cat is horizontal, whereas we are vertical. Their food pipe, whatever it's called, esophagus or whatever, has muscles in it that basically move the food from when they eat, as they swallow through their throat into their stomach. It's kind of a conveyor belt, if you will, the way that the muscles work to move the food, where some of, you know, our process is kind of gravity fed. Well, this stops working with dysautonomia, and so their esophagus kind of turns into, well, for lack of a better description that the doctors gave us, kind of like Jello. And so they can't swallow, they obviously can't sustain themselves that way. And so we had Mickey put to sleep because there was no cure, there was no correcting, there was no coming back from this terrible disease. And we thought, you know, the vets told us, yeah, it's very rare unless Mickey and Sky were actually real life brothers and came from the same litter. The likelihood of Sky getting sick was very, very rare. You know, almost like, you know, 1 in a million kind of thing. Well, unfortunately, a week after Mickey passed away, we had the service come out and do the same thing for Sky, because he was also sick and suffering so badly. So, needless to say, I love cats. I love, you know, cats are that maintenance free kind of pet, because you don't have to take them out. I mean, it's minus 5 degrees outside. There's about 6 inches of snow on the ground. If you had a dog, you know the misery of having to go out and take them for a walk and everything. Well, you don't have to do that with cats. They kind of just take care of themselves. And we love cats, and we miss our fur babies so bad. And it's been 2 years and a couple of months, and we think about them every single day. And I think one of the reasons why, you know, after Socks passed away, we got a new kitten. We got Sky, because Socks was 18, 19 years old. Likewise, you know, Musti, when she passed away, she was 23. She had lived a good long life, and Mickey was 4 and Sky was 5, and they were robbed. This disease robbed them and robbed us of their life, and that's the scary thing. That's the thing that, that's the thing that's hard to get over. And the scary thing is the fact that we don't know how they got this disease. We don't know if it was something that we trekked into the house, like because we had been out someplace and got this on our shoes or our boots, or if it was in the food, or if it was in the treats, or we just don't know. We don't know what we don't know, and the vets can't tell us anything. The vets have no clue. They say this is so rare in Colorado that there's just almost no reported cases of this. This is a little bit more common in the Midwest, and it's not just related to cats. Evidently, some other types of farm animals and stuff can also get this, and it's mostly it's more common in the Midwest. So I think that's one of the reasons why it's been over 2 years and we still can't bring ourselves to go out and adopt a new fur baby, because we just simply don't know what caused it. And I don't think my wife and I mean, I'm a strong guy. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm not a muscular, I'm not a bodybuilder and everything, but I can hold my own in pretty much any situation. I'm a nice guy, but this has just torn me up, because I miss both of them, But one of the things is because we don't know what caused it, we are so concerned that if we were to bring another animal into our home, and Moosty and Socks, Socks lived here in this house that we're in now. He lived here for about 5 or 6 years. Moosty lived here for probably about 9 years. So neither one of them had this problem. Neither one of them died because of this. They died basically old age, and again, Socks was 19 and Moosty was 23. That's quite old for cats. But because we just don't know what caused it, we just don't want to take that chance that it could happen again. And I think if we did do that, if we adopted another cat or two, and we brought them into our home, and because again, I said earlier, cats throw up, it's what they do. But I think if we had one throw up, that would send a panic through my wife and I, that we would probably immediately rush them to the hospital, and it could just be something as simple as a hairball. But I'm pretty sure we would overreact, and we would overreact for probably a long time. And it would probably be one of those things that if they didn't get it, but they were 10 years old, 12 years old, whatever, we would still think, did they just get it? Is it something in our house? And nobody can tell you that your house is free of this disease. And anyway, I'm sorry I've been so doom and gloom. I apologize for that. Well, hey, we are at about 35 minutes, and I said that I'm not necessarily clock watching, but I am going to go ahead and end the video here and just tell everyone, just thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please check out my friends in my featured channels list there on my page. If you're looking for other wonderful YouTubers that are doing Farm Sim 17 and maybe even some Farm Sim 15 videos, check those guys out. You'll find them all there. And head over to PCSG and also to the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. You'll find both of those links down below in the show notes. That's where you'll find me hanging out, and lots of friendly, really awesome people in those communities. If you have a question, you can ask the question. You're not gonna get a response like, did you not search for your answer already? Ask the question, because we're all new to this. at some point in time, and we're just such a welcoming community, and yeah, so head on over there, join up, sign up for those. My giveaway is still going on. Will be going on through the end of the year, so watch that video. It was the video on the channel update and the 100 subscriber giveaway. So I'd really love to give that away to somebody who needs Farming Sim 17. So that's what I'm doing, and I hope you got your Christmas shopping done. And again, I'm sorry I got so doom and gloom here. But yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you back here very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.